All right, everybody, welcome. We're doing a special tonight, a little Sven squared, as Micah and I are running a quick little solo adventure. Micah, say hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody.
All right, so go ahead and give us a tiny, quick 30-second view, idea of who you are and what you are.
So in this one-off, I'm going to be playing a dragon born named Steel. He is a paladin. If I just looks wise, he is uh, just kind of a big old scary black dragon looking thing. Got a big great axe that he carries around and holds with him. He casts spells and things like that. Um, he is subservient to Bahamut. I decided because Bahamut was the first dragon D&D I could find online, so he worships Bahamut and does dragony stuff. Doesn't really get sick as he's immune to disease. But yeah, as a whole, kind of just goes around trying to do things the right way and stop do, help do-gooders and stop bad guys in the name of Bahamut, who gives him his power.
All right, so here is the um, um,
Map. West Moon Sea.
there we are. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to kill your picture. Actually, I'll leave your picture up for a while so people can see who it is. Um, all right, the adventure begins. You wake at the foot of the Dragon Spine Mountains. You quickly break camp and stow your gear, your mind already on the quest before you. As you eat a breakfast of hard bread, cheese, and some nuts and berries you foraged the day before, you remember
Yum.
your adventures in Zentel Keep, as eventful as they were. Those adventures saw you encounter an elusive group of elder warriors named the Knights of Mithranor, and from them you received a quest. So you leave your campsite and you walk out to the path you saw the night before, a twisting walkway that leads right into the heart of the dragon spines. Foothills, let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. Dragon Spine Mountains. All right, foothills rise before you, and beyond that, mountains, many, many miles worth of mountains. The largest of these peaks appear to be nearly 60 miles away, and from here you can see the sun hitting their tops, black shadows thrown across huge valleys that sweep down from summits like long strokes of a potter's knife. Your mission is clear. You have been tasked with locating the entrance to secret tunnels used by the Zentirum faction. You remember the words of Juan Falconhand spoken to you the day before. We need you to find the entrance to these tunnels. Control 3, there we go. Boom.
And they're the secret tunnels of. Oh, never mind. I was going to write a note in there, and you already did it for me. Perfect.
There you go. We need you to find the entrance to these tunnels, wherever they lie within the dragon spines. We need you to follow these tunnels inside the citadel, and once there, kill the Zentarum spies that have assassinated Galantar Hawkhelm and infiltrated the citadel. They may be holding the men there hostage, or they may be hiding in plain sight. I'm going to go ahead and open up my chat box a little bit. There we go. Yes, the tunnels, you think to yourself, the Zentirum are slippery creatures, so no doubt the entrance to these tunnels is well hidden. But then again, the dragon spines are a lonely country, with few settled folk inhabiting them. Perhaps the Zentirum feel they can do whatever they want within these hills, and they won't be so well hidden. They could even be more than one entrance. Pondering these thoughts, you shoulder your pack and begin trotting the path that ascends into the brown, earthen foothills of the Dragonspire mountain range. The day is overcast but warm, and you are soon sweating as the path steep climbs steeply upward. Pine trees dot the hills here and there, and far ahead you see a small forest, which lays over the hills like a green blanket. By mid morning you are in amongst the hills and vales of the dragon spines, walking a path which follows the curve of these slopes. Dry brown hills give way to more mountainous country covered with pine trees. At one point, you stop to take provisions at an area that has been cleared of foliage by a landslide. Munching slowly on your rations, you gaze down the length of a long gash in the mountainside, ripped clean of foliage by a battering ram of natural debris. Split trees show bright orange wounds, fresh exposed timber where their trunks have been mauled or completely shattered by rapidly tumbling boulders. At the at the bottom of this cleared section of forest, many hundreds of meters below, lies a mass of wreckage. Stripped trees, earth, rocks, all thrown together. You finish your lunch and continue onward, upward, further into the dragon's spines. Hours later, you are traveling a lonely stretch of wooden track when you hear the sound of horses, hooves, and voices coming from the
Okay.
track ahead somewhere around the next corner. So your two choices are stand and face. So now that we've gotten a little bit of taste of what's happening, just so everybody understands what's happening, including Micah, this is basically a choose your own adventure thing. So not as much role play, although Mike is always good at that anyway. But it's more of if you choose, well, I'm going to go and build a fire or run down the hill and find out, search where those trees are. You can't do that. You can only do what's given you the options. So your options right now are stand and face the approaching horsemen, or move off the track and hide.
Um, I think I'm gonna stay and face the horsemen. Hopefully they can help me clear out these tunnels once I find the entrance. Maybe I can persuade them.
All right. And one thing I did not do is trying to show you guys a picture. Let me go to images. It would be in credits. Here it is, the cover. Boing, boing, boing. All right, so this is what we're doing. I'm going to blow it up a little bit for those of you on the stream. We are doing the Citadel of the Raven. You can find this on DM's Guild. Is is the third in a series of 5 different adventures, I think, that take you from level 1 up through level 5 or level 4 rather. So they're all real well done. Check them out with this if you like what you're seeing. I've done a couple of them myself, so you can watch as well. Uh, just search for solo under Fencer 77. All right, so getting back to it, you continue ahead on the path, giving your weapon a quick check to make sure it's within easy reach, but not stopping or hiding, or in any way signifying that you shouldn't be here, walking along this path exactly as you are. The voices increase in volume, and then, some 50 yards ahead, 2 horsemen appear, rounding the corner. Initially, they don't see you, deep as they are in conversation. And their conversation is regarding the virtues of various popular pipe weeds, it seems.
Ah,
But then one notices you and gives his companion a nudge. They are both fully armored and have pikes strapped to the sides of their mounts.
mhm.
You have to move close to the hillside part of the track to let the riders pass, and as they pass, one nods at you. "Morning, traveler," he says. "On your way to the vast?" You quickly try to form a response. Either "The vast? What's that?" or "I am, and you for Zentel Keep?" In other words, "I am going there. Are you going to
And are
Zentel
you
Keep?"
going to Zentel Keep? Okay.
Or number 3, "No, here to scout dragon lairs, actually." Or Perhaps you would just like to make up some story and rely on your own natural deceptive instincts, in which case you would make a deception check. DC 14. So, one of the three answers: the vast, what's that? I am, and you for Zentel Keep, or no, here to scout dragon lairs actually, or make up your own thing.
I'm gonna go with here to scout dragon layers. Actually,
All right.
I'm gonna be honest with them. I think Steel would be pretty honest. Hopefully,
Ah,
uh,
poacher, eh? The other one remarks. You want to be careful, friend. They're going to crack down on your kind soon, but, he leans close as he says this. If you find anything worth a look, I'd be more than interested. You nod and tell him you'll do so, and before you know it, they are on their way once more, and you are left alone on the track. The idea of dragon poaching is abhorrent, but it was what occurred to you at the time, and now you are left to continue on your way.
I thought I told them I was dragon poaching because that's what I was doing. No, I'm looking for the tunnels. That's what it is. Okay, cool. So they left me alone. No one killed me. Awesome.
All right, so apparently we're supposed. Let's go ahead and create. So we have progress. All right, so you get a progress point for talking to the riders. All right, so ahead you see that the main path into the dragon spines enters a small forest, which covers a range of low hills. Behind you, deep valleys wind their way back to the Moon Sea region. Trying to show both maps all at the same time. There we go. You have arrived at the high country of the dragon spines, and you press on, entering the small wood that covers this section of the foothills. As you enter this wood, the thick canopy blocks out much of the natural light. You walk forward into the dappled green gloom, watching the path ahead for any movement. It is early afternoon when you finally arrive at a crossroads, the first junction you have encountered since entering the Dragon Spines. You can continue north, you can go east, or you can turn west.
Ooh. I'm gonna go west. Feels right.
Turning west, you move quickly down a path which twists and dips, crossing a small stream at one point. Fallen trees lay across the path here and there, and you find yourself wondering who is tasked with maintaining this track. Whoever it is, they have been neglecting their duties.
Yeah.
And we have a picture.
Ooh. Okay. Cool.
Eventually, the roads thin, and you see the trees coming to an end ahead. You emerge from the forest and onto a path which forges further into the western dragon spines. You get another progress point.
Woot. More progress.
You walk on as the sun gradually descends towards the western horizon. You're not ready to stop yet, though, telling yourself that you can surely cover a few more miles before nightfall. You're just starting to wonder whether you will ever encounter another soul on this lonely path when you round a corner and see a little tavern by the wayside.
Ooh, I
It
love
looks
taverns.
fairly well maintained, and you can hear voices murmuring inside. To you can enter and investigate what's going on in this seedy little tavern, or you can continue up the road searching for a place to camp.
Oh no, I'm interested in the tavern. Go see some more people, especially since I've been on the road for a while. Haven't seen anybody since this morning. Tavern it is.
You get another progress point.
Cool.
And this is public. There we go. I'm sharing this. If you want to keep it up, you can. You may want to pull it down into your one of your hot key, keys if you want. Um, that way you can, if you ever want to know what your progress is, you know how many progress points you have. I'll go
Oh, cool.
back and read why these are important a little bit later once we get more into the story.
More of them. Okay.
You entered a little nameless tavern, expecting the place to be empty or having at the most one or two patrons. But to your surprise, you find it quite well populated. Two
Mm.
old men are seated at the bar, solemnly sipping at large tankards of ale, while a portly, middle-aged man serves them and tends bar. Your attention is drawn to a group of patrons seated around a circular table. Walking over to them, you see that they are engrossed in a game of some sort involving cards. The aim of the game seems to be openly cheat, as before every hand all players show their three cards to each other, and then deftly remove one of them up a sleeve or or somewhere else. Their skill is impressive. One or two of the players are so deft as to make the cards literally vanish. The player who then guesses the makeup of the most hands around the table wins the hand. Do you want to play? This game seems to require great sleight of hand and perception.
Let me look at my skills. Eh, where's my perception? No, I think I'm gonna pass. I'll probably get taken. I'm not very sleight of handy.
All
No
right.
perception. That my
So
perception's not
you
spot
would
on,
rather
dude.
go and talk to the old man at the bar? It
Yes.
says. Come on. The two old men who have installed themselves at the bar eye you warily as you seat yourself next to them.
Okay.
Do you wish? You can order an ale if you wish. It might be a good idea if you want to fit in. One gold piece will get you three ales, enough for you and the two codgers.
Um, I have the gold for it, so I'll do it.
Okay.
Go down to 9 gold, and I will buy ale for everyone, or for the three of us, I should say.
Yep, youngin', one of them says. What brings a young whippersnapper like yourself into these forsaken hills? Just passing through, you reply. Here, I'm going to give this to you. Um, let's see, sharing. Boink.
Excuse me.
So if you want to read your line as you get to them. So I'll read mine again. Yep, youngin, what brings a young whippersnapper like yourself into these forsaken hills?
I'm just passing through on my way to the ride.
Is that right? We don't get many folk just passing through these days.
Oh, why is that?
Of the Black Hand, of course. Shh! Here, you'll get yourself knocked off you carry on like that. Ah, what do I care? If they don't get me, then the drink will before too long. These two old timers are great company. Excuse me.
But you're unsure how
But
much
you're
useful
unsure
information.
how much useful information you will get from them. When talk turns to the Citadel, however, something catches your ear. There's no telling who killed Hawkhelm. It could have been Zentirum, but then again, maybe not. There's more than just Zentirum and Zentillar in the Citadel. The other one nods. This piques your interest, and you ask about the makeup of the knights in the castle. The first old guy considers this. Yeah, well, there's the Zentilier warriors, obviously, but there's also soldiers representing all the Moonsea towns. Ulash, Malevant, Maulmaster, and I guarantee you, those warriors, they're not affiliated with any particular order. They'll do anything to climb the hierarchy. I reckon it was one of them done Hawkhelm men. You finish your ale, absorbing this knowledge, and finally thank the old codgers for their conversation. Your thoughts are now turning to bed and rest. To inquire from the proprietor about a room, or you can leave and look for a campsite.
Um, I just slept outside the night before, so I think I'll try to get a room. I'll talk to the proprietor of the tavern. Hey, barkeep,
All
any
right.
rooms
So you
available?
move to the bar and get the attention of the man who appears to be the proprietor, a slovenly looking, middle aged bartender wearing a baggy shirt, which looks like it might have been a pleasant shade of beige at some point, but is now so soiled that it looks like a rag that was used to mop up after an orc bar fight.
Yuck.
What you want, young'un? He says. You reply that you would like to inquire about a room, and he says, they're upstairs. 3 gold a night, and you're to be gone by mid morning tomorrow. So, if this sounds agreeable, you can pay the gold and you can go up to your room, as it is getting quite late. Or, if it sounds a bit steep, you can go somewhere in the Dragon Spines to camp.
I'm gonna go camp. 3 gold for one night's crazy.
All
No,
right.
thank you.
Something about staying the night in that seedy tavern doesn't quite sit right with you, and so you quietly begin searching for a suitable campsite. It doesn't take long to find a nice flat area, as this whole section of the spines seems to be sitting up on a plateau. There is a nice glade here, with poplar trees and a bubbling stream running through. Hey, Poplar, little Pyro 967, how you doing? We are hunting dragons, doing a little bit of the Citadel of the Raven Queen. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, so you lay out your bedroll next to a babbling stream and some trees. Kindle a campfire in order to cook a fish you've caught from the river.
Nice.
Salmon and trout lazily loll in the small pools, and even an inexperienced angler would have no trouble catching one. After filling your belly with roasted fish, you settle down for what you hope is a peaceful night's sleep.
Yes, that would be the aim.
Yes. You awake in the middle of the night with a terrible itching sensation covering your entire body.
Oh, that
Sitting up and
sucks.
kindling a light, you strip off your tunic to discover to your horror that you are covered in ants. They have red bodies and appear to have been feasting on you.
Oh, that sucks.
So you take a little bit of damage. Let's see here. Our modifier is a -1, and the damage is 1d4. So you take 3 points of damage.
Okay.
All right, so you're just going to have to try your best to get back to sleep, but it probably won't be a very peaceful night unless you can think of some other solution um, besides a hammock. I don't think you actually have a hammock.
I do not.
Nope. Okay. All right, so what do you think you can do to get a good night's sleep? Oh no, not the ants, he says.
Yeah. Um, I guess I could try to. I could look for an ant hill. Is there like? I know it sounds weird to say, but is there like an ant hill anywhere that I might have accidentally like slept on or near? I'll take a piece of the fire, little log, and kind of walk around
All
where
right,
I'm sitting
so
adjacent to.
yeah, it's not hard to find the anthill.
Ah, good. Um, I'm going to try to snuff out the ants. Take a piece
All
of
right, so you
the
go
ember and
and you spew out your acid
ah,
breath on this ant hill, and it
yeah,
burns and makes this small crater in the ground as it did burns deep, and as the acid sinks down into the hill and stuff, you see that it destroys most of the ants. You can
perfect.
s- submerge yourself in the river, the stream, and then get all the ants off of you, and
Yes,
also relieve some of the soreness. Even do a little bit of lay on hands and get rid of the itching and the soreness that's there. Um, and then you able to go back to sleep.
all right, cool. I will do that.
Nice. Somebody gave you a round of applause for that.
Hey,
Appreciate that, little pyro. So you awake covered in red sores, having provided a tasty meal to the fire ants who feasted on you throughout the night. Um, Despite the terrible night's sleep, you are eager to get moving and back onto the task of finding the entrance to the Zentirum tunnels, if at all possible. After taking a quick breakfast, which lifts up your spirits considerably, you return
good.
to the northern path and set out at a brisk pace, eager to cover as many miles as you can today.
Heck yeah, let's get going.
Get another progress point. Every early sunlight is quickly covered by a bank of clouds from the south, which you welcome. At least you won't be traveling in the blazing sun. The hills around you grow steeper and are covered with sun-scorched grass, with the occasional copse of trees. Boulders and other rocks formations jut out here and there. If someone were watching you, they would certainly have multiple vantage points from which to do so. As you are walking, you hear a loud buzzing noise. Looking around, you see the bee population has increased exponentially in the last little while. There must be a hive nearby. So your two choices are go and investigate or continue on your way.
Um, I feel like the game wants me to go and look, but I'm gonna keep going just because I don't really want to poke around with beehives. I'm here to make up time, travel several miles today. Poking beehives is not a part of it, so I'm gonna keep going forward. Hopefully, not
All
into a
right,
beehive.
makes sense. You walk off the path a little way, and it doesn't take. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I I failed. I hit the wrong button.
It's okay.
And I
I
and
can go
I
looking for
just
bees.
closed the other one, and it's like I said, it's like a choose your own adventure. So I have
Yeah,
no idea what number we were just on.
it's
So
okay.
you walk off the path a little way, and it doesn't take long before you spot it. A huge beehive hangs from a low branch of an old tree. It looks like the hive has been there for a while, and from the bottom you can see where nectar has collected and is seeping out of the hive itself. Several small creatures are here lapping at the base of the hive, braving the stings to collect the valuable, valuable nectar.
Nectar.
To
Okay.
attempt to gather some honey, or you can return to the path and continue north.
Um, I'm gonna get some honey. Why not?
All right. You edge nearer to the hive, taking a leaf. You scale the base of the tree and attempt to collect some of the honey, and perhaps some of the comb as well. Make a dexterity check, DC 10.
Okay. Nice.
Nice. Excellent.
That's 20. I become a bee.
All right. And you get some honey, which is now in your inventory.
Cool. Let's take a look at what I scoped. What does honey do for me? All right, honey.
Um,
Information.
it
It
just says honey.
just is honey. Okay.
So who knows? Maybe it'll be vital in the storyline
I
later
bet
on.
not.
Who knows? We'll see. All right, so you're walking along a path which passes through little patches of wood when suddenly a foul stench assails your nostrils. Make a perception check, DC 12.
Okay. Where's my perception on my front page? I'm not seeing it right away.
That's just your passive perception, so you would need to re-roll it anyway, but it's under perk on your
Oh,
front page.
perception. There it is. It's in my skills.
Yep.
Not so great.
DC 12, you made it successful.
Hey, I'll take it.
All right, so you know the reek of dead bodies when you smell it, and this is particularly pungent, enough to make you gag. Covering your mouth and nose, you press on, eager to get away from the horrid stench as quickly as possible.
Yes. Yes, I do.
The path twists and turns until you round a corner and see that the thorny foliage has completely overgrown this part of the track. You start looking for another way around. Make a survival, nature, or perception check, DC 20. So it's a pretty tough check.
Um, let's go with perception. It's the only one of those I'm trained in. So
Survival,
perception
nature,
it is.
perception. Okay.
Yeah. 15. It's not bad, but
But
it's
it's
not
not the
great.
DC 20, so
Ah,
let's
it's not
go
DC 20.
unsuccessful. Click. Suddenly, you feel a sharp, piercing sensation in your leg. You look
Eh,
down to see a tendril of the thorny bush has wrapped itself around your leg. You
no.
quickly struggle to get free. Make a strength or so an athletics or acrobatics DC 15.
I will take athletics. Ooh, not great. I'm gonna use my inspiration. Try
Okay,
and re-roll that because I don't want to be stuck on this thing. So there you go.
there you go. So successful. You are clear of the vine's grasp for now, but it is upon you. You must do combat with this savage shrubbery immediately.
A
All right, so
shrubbery.
we'll go to this. All right, so the vine's multiple tendrils are adorned with razor sharp. Let me go ahead and show you the map. All right, the vine's multiple tendrils are adorned with razor sharp thorns, grasping for you. The vine's wrap tries to wrap you in its deadly coils. All right, so let me get this. So there's the assassin vine. Here are you. Let me show you a
Okay.
picture of the assassin vine.
Yeah, that looks unpleasant. I'm glad I'm not stuck in it.
All right, so we'll zoom in a little bit since you're pretty close to each other right now. All right, so don't forget you have your dragon breath.
Yeah, that was my
You
first
have
thought.
your channel divinity you can do every short rest. Um, close some of these away. There we go. You have your spells you can use throughout the day. Your schmite.
Where's my dragon's breath? Is that an attack or what is that under?
Yes, and I'll get that ready for you while I'm looking at the other stuff. All right, so it says, go back to the main thing. Cold, fire, piercing. Okay, immune to that. All right, I've got it. All right, so go ahead and give me initiative
All right, let me grab that.
while I get your breath.
Initiative is 15.
Excellent. So you get to go first. Um, let me look and see if, yes, it is here. Okay. Dragonborn breath weapon. All right, so it is 2d6 acid.
Cool.
And it's actually plus your level, so 2d6 plus 3 acid damage, and it is in a straight line for 30 feet.
Okay. So I'm going to attempt to Dragon's Breath it then. Do I have a roll for that yet? Let me check my
So let me
actions.
check and see. Give me just a second. It is. Nope. All right, hold on. I gotta double check. Here it is. Yep, it's a 30-foot long cone of acid, and the each creature in the area must make a dexterity saving throw. So let me fix that. Type is dex. It is 8 plus your constitution modifier plus your
My,
proficiency bonus.
my con modifier is 2.
Yep, and your proficiency bonus is 2 as well. All right, so go ahead and excuse me. All right, so go ahead and roll. So you should see the thing that says save.
Yes.
So go ahead and roll that. It failed perfect. So now roll the damage onto it. All right, so it takes 11 points of damage
Nice.
as you breathe out, and this blasts of acid just goes sizzling all through it. These vines and leaves quickly fade away. The smaller thorns sizzle away, and it's just acrid fumes as this big hole just rots and parts of it drop and fall. All right, so that does take your action. You can move if you would like.
I'm going to move because it's a 30-foot line. So 1, 2. So I'm going to move back and then back.
Okay.
Be kind of far away from it, which isn't very far at all, but far-ish.
All right, so let's see. This thing has a speed, does have a speed, so it can move. All right, so let's see. Um, so it says the tactics are simple. If you're beyond 10 feet away, it tries to entangle you, and then move to slam you. If you're within 10 feet, it's not. All right, so it's going to use its entangle feat. So its entangle feat says, cause plants within 30 feet of it to animate and grasp at foes.
Oh, I don't like that.
Click.
I'm in the woods.
All right, so this is not worded correctly. So it is a what? It makes a charisma check. What? If the target is within 15 feet, which is you're not. Oh, of foliage in general. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
I see. So it's
anything
making a charisma check to
for the plants around
see
it.
if it can get the other plants to do what it wants to do. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
that's why I
guess that
said, well,
sort of
that
makes
sucks
sense.
because I'm in the woods, so I
Good
can't
news is his
outrun
charisma is
plants.
9. So let's see. He needs to make. Ooh, he rolled an 18. Oh, I'm going to make it to where you can see my rolls real quick. I'll switch those options over. Maybe. There we go. All right, we're just going to set it to where the GM show GM rolls is on, okay?
All right.
All right, so yeah, so he rolled an 18. He rolled a 19 minus 1, it's 18. Um,
That's pretty dang
if
good.
successful, the target is grappled. So
No.
you are grappled. Will then move and use its slam attack, attempting to grapple the target itself. Okay. So that counts as a free action, so it can then move up 5, 10, 15. And we'll try to slam you. It rolled a 2, so that is a miss.
I'm glad it didn't slam me.
All right, so you are restrained, but not by it. Is you're restrained by these other plants. So you can. Um, so let me remind you of what and myself. I didn't. Where is my modules? Modules and player's handbook, reference manual, appendices, conditions. Open this up. So here's this. If you want to drop it into your hotkey, or it doesn't really matter if you do. Scroll down a little bit. Grappled. Grappled
But I was
creatures'
restrained.
speed is 0. Um, and that is all it really does is makes your speed 0. Um, so you just can't move, but you can attack like normal, cast spells like normal. Everything else is like normal. Oh, and you use your dragon breath. Drink. There we go.
Okay.
All right. So just letting it. So now it's your turn.
So I cannot move. That's okay. It's on me. So I am going to. Let's hit it with my great axe. It's being held, so I'm going to try and cut down some of the weeds. My great axe does hit. Awesome. Hit it with some damage. Not a tremendous amount of damage, but some.
All right. So you slash into it, cutting some more of these vines away, and that is now his turn. So he's going to try to slam you again. Ooh, this time he gets a 19. So this now you are restrained, and you take some bludgeoning damage.
Ugh.
10 points of bludgeoning damage,
Ooh, I don't like that.
which means you are now down 10 hit points out of your 30. So the difference is with restrained, your attack rolls have advantage against you, and your attack rolls have disadvantage. And you have disadvantage on dex saving throws. So if you want to break out of that, you can then try to escape with a DC 14, either athletics or acrobatics, but that does take up your action.
Okay. Or I can just attack it again and hope it doesn't kill me.
Correct. At disadvantage.
At disadvantage. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna. Um. Yeah, I'm just gonna attack it again
Okay.
and hope it doesn't kill me. Let's go to my damages. Where's my
Don't
actions?
forget you can smite.
DIS. Yeah, if I hit it, I'm probably gonna smite it. dropped a 19. That sucks. But I'm glad I hit it still. That's all that matters.
Yep.
So I hit it. Let's do
So if
some
you're going to do your
damage.
smite, then go ahead and on your actions page, you'll see it says Paladin Divine Smite. Open up the magnifying glass and just click the effect.
Can I do smite after the damage? Because I think I might kill it with this damage.
No, you
Divine
have to
Smite.
determine when
Okay.
you're rolling the damage whether or not you smite. You don't
Well,
have
I
to
will
do
do
it
that
before
then.
you hit, but you have to do it before you
Before
determine
the okay.
damage.
So Paladin Divine Smite.
Yeah, you can see it still has 16 hit points, so
Oh, I can.
do you have the
Anyway,
combat tracker open?
no,
No,
I don't
okay.
use a combat tracker ever because I
Okay.
don't know. I just don't. Okay. Where is it at? Paladin Divine Smite. So do I just click effect or what do I
Yep,
click?
click the little man.
Okay, I clicked effect
There you go. Now
and
roll your
then
damage like normal.
damage.
Boom. All
22.
right, so that is enough. Excellent.
Nice.
So, yeah, you would have done 11 damage, which would not have been enough to kill it, but with the
No.
smite. So as you bring back your great axe, you call upon the power of Bahamut, and this white foam, frost appears around your axe as you slam your axe into it. This radiant damage goes seething through the vines as it bursts and dies. It stops moving. All right, so you were down 10 hit points. You have two spell slots left. You have some healing potions. You have lay on hands. You can take a short rest, or you can keep going.
I'm gonna keep going on.
So Mantha just subscribed for 9 months.
Hey,
Look,
9 months.
awesome, awesome. nine
Dang.
months in a row. Thank you
Heck
so
yeah.
much. Had the big old drop. I don't know if it's Skrillex, but it's some sort of dubstep. Drop the bass. Bam, bam, ding, ding, ding. Anyway,
That is Skrillex. The
uh,
song's called Bangarang.
I don't think it's. Oh, I know it's not from Bangarang, but it's close. It's because I'm very familiar with Bangarang. But anyway, yeah. So we're doing a little bit of a solo adventure with Steel, the Paladin level 3 Paladin, Dragonborn, Black Dragonborn. He's we're doing. Did I close it already? It's called Citadel the Raven, and he's just killed an assassin vine. He's down 10 hit points. So first of all, let's see what happens if you are victorious. By the way, now that you sort of have a chance to look around, you see that behind you the foliage has closed off so that there was no retreat. You had to continue fighting him.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was backing up.
All right. Finally defeating this noxious vine, you catch your breath as you watch it wither away, retreating from the path and merging into the undergrowth. The way north is clear. Keeping a watchful eye on all sides, you set out once more. All right, so that does lead to my question. Do you want to continue with 10 hit points down? Do you want to lay on hands, healing potion, cast a spell?
I am going to. Where are my healing potions at? Inventory. I just want to see how much they heal me for, theoretically. Potion of healing. There it is. So potion of healing will give me 2d4 plus 6. Excuse me, 2d4 plus 2. Okay, I'll do a potion of healing. I now have one. Do I do that on the front page or where? Or just roll over here?
All right. So yeah, she was saying that my title might have been wrong. It should have said special Sven Square D&D session the whole time. It may not have. Sorry about that. Appreciate you saying something, Mantha. Thank you. If that's not what it said before, it should say it now. Um, I did not put it here. Let me do it real quick. Healing potion. Here it is. So I'm putting it under miscellaneous. There you go. So I'll put it to self because you won't be healing anybody else anyway. And
Yeah.
that way you don't have to think about it. You can just, there you go. So just click the little cross button as you drink your
Is that
healing.
in my inventory or where is it at?
No, it's in the actions page under miscellaneous.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Actions. Missed. Cool.
And then I'll change your number of healing potions down to
Nice. That's awesome. I was almost full heal. That's the
nice.
best
Yeah.
that's gonna come. Sweet. Yeah, now I only have one, but I changed it. I should have
Oh,
had
you already
two.
changed it. Good.
Yep,
Nice.
I switched it to one.
Shaka kong kong. All right. So as you drink your healing potion,
Feel better about life.
your holy symbol warms a little bit, and you get your max. You get almost max hit points again as you drink it in. And let's see. Here it is. Drink. There we go. I'm going to drop it right now into the hot cars in case I close it again. All right, so you walk for a little while, and then, to your surprise, you see a path branching off the one you're on. It appears to be heading northeast, so you can go northeast or stick with the path that you're on.
I'm gonna stay with the path I'm on.
All right, so you get another progress point.
Oop,
You now have 5.
okay. Did you ever say what I got for fighting the vine thing? Did I get one for that too or no?
It did not give you one, no.
No, that's strange.
All right, so let's take a quick second and double check the story here and see progress points. Click. Now and then you will be asked to keep track of a stat named progress points. This score measures time, and time is of the essence in this adventure. Your progress through this adventure is measured using progress points, and you only have a limited amount to spend during the completion of the adventure. If you reach 20 progress points and still haven't completed it, you have unfortunately failed.
Oh,
This also necessarily implies that you can't explore everything, which leads to replayability. For now, create a box. Okay, boom. And then if you ever reach 20, you go to entry number 356. So I'll make a note here. All right. So it doesn't really matter what the points are for. Do you want me to continue to say when you get them? Like after your long rest, after the vine, going through the forest, or do you just want me to keep the point totals?
I like hearing I got a progress point.
Okay. So that's what they are. Now we
Cool.
know. The more you know.
Yeah.
Well, she says she's heading out. Thank you, Mantha, for stopping by. I know you're not feeling well. If you get better, thank you so much for the subscription. You are
Yeah, yeah.
awesome. I appreciate you. And I guess the title was wrong. I guess I never hit the little button I was supposed to. So thank you for saying that. I feel better now. Have a good night.
Good night, Mantha.
Send you off with a quote. There you go. So, and the quote is from Micah and Kita. It's a shared quote.
Ooh, what's it say?
Micah, I trust the one eyed creepy monster. Kita, I definitely don't trust it. Micah, I trust it. Hand him a knife. See what happens. All right, so back to our story. The landscape grows drier to the point where all foliage disappears and the path climbs steadily upwards. The air grows colder too, and you sense that you are approaching the high peaks of the Dragon Spine Mountains. Suddenly, an old man appears on the path ahead, and he doesn't look to be in a good way. He has one leg missing. He hobbles along on an old crutch,
Oh dang.
using his only arm as support.
Oh no.
Fortunately, the arm and leg are on opposite sides, otherwise, he wouldn't get very far.
This guy has just
So
a
much
terrible
commentary there.
lifestyle. Yeah.
The old man comes along beside you. Afternoon, young'un. Now that he's alongside you, you see that his hair and beard are a mess, woven through with twigs and leaves. You can also smell the old coot. He smells as if he hasn't bathed for weeks, months even. Not only
Uh-huh.
that, but he looks malnourished, as if he
Oh
hasn't
no.
eaten a decent meal in a long time. Eh? What brings you this way? Dragons, is it? Looking for some wormling eggs, no doubt, eh? We get a lot of poachers up here, I can tell you that. Well, you'll have no joy while I'm still breathing, young'un. The old man
No.
prattles on incessantly, and you're beginning to find him annoying.
Okay.
So your two options are to insist you are no poacher and are not interested in dragon products, or you can try to walk faster so you can get away from him.
Um, I'll probably just. Ugh, I want to give him some food. I don't know. He's got one arm and one leg. I mean, really. I'm just gonna tell him I'm not a poacher. I'm really not a poacher. Sorry.
Not
He's
a
better.
poacher, eh? What brings you out here then? Fate of the Moon Sea, is it? Saving the realm from destruction? Something along those lines? Come on, you can tell an old timer like me I'm harmless. Look at me. Come on, come on, young whippersnapper. What brings you up here, eh? The old man's whining voice and incessant questions are beginning to drive you insane. As you walk, you notice the track begins skirting the side of a slope, and to your left is a deep ravine dropping down several hundred feet.
Oh,
You have three choices. To
okay.
insist you don't know what he's talking about, and you're simply passing through, or you can ask what he means by fate of the moon sea, or if you would like to give this poor, starved old man some food.
I'm gonna try to offer him food.
Okay.
Maybe he'll quit talking and eat the food.
All right. So, do you want to give him some of your rations, or do you have some other type of food that he might like?
I have honey that I got from earlier. Um, so I will offer him a little bit of both. Some rations, some like dried bread and stuff, and a
All
little bit of
right.
honey with it.
So, when you
I'll get
click
rid of
that
my honey.
option, it does say, "Do you have any honey?"
Oh,
So
nice.
you do. So we go here. Ah, the old man exclaims as you produce a honey. Wild honey for the dragon spines, my absolute favorite. He greedily snatches the leaf full of honey from you, and leaning
Okay.
on his crutch begins to devour it with all the table manners of a warthog.
Yeah.
And licking the leaf clean and then throwing it to the side. Excellent. You are about to chide the old hobo for his terrible manners when something strange starts to happen.
Yeah, I bet.
As you watch the old man, you see a bizarre transformation begin to take place. His hair organizes itself into a long, silky white mane.
Okay.
His missing leg and arm regrow themselves, and his tattered rags are replaced by flowing, ornate robes.
Ooh.
Thank you for your kindness, young one, he addresses you in a deep, clear tone. I am
Nice.
Broccolus Broadleaf, resident wizard in these parts, and I am aware of your quest. I live here in the Dragon Den Pass to protect the dragons from the threat of poachers, but I am a friend of the Knights of Myth Dranar as also. I have been a wizard for many, many years, which explains how I know who you are, simply put. You are an open book to me. No one can hide their motives or thoughts from me. I say this not out of pride, but out of respect for the skills of my Grand Meister, my teacher, one of the greatest wizards and teachers to live. And now I must take you somewhere. Follow me. To politely decline and tell Broccolus you would rather proceed alone, or you can go with Broccolus.
Oh no, I'm gonna go with him. He's way too hardcore and awesome to not go with.
We add one progress point. The elderly wizard leads the way up the ascending path towards the summit of Dragon Den Pass. Come on, he says, it's not too far. You walk alongside him, realizing that you are approaching the highest point of this part of the mountains. The air is crisp and cold, and looking southward, you see the greener parts of the dragon spines stretching back towards the moon sea, which glints like a cold blue pearl in the hazy distance. You are in an area littered with bones, the skeletons of dragons.
Well,
This is the handiwork of poachers, he says. This was done before I came here some years ago. They slaughtered many wormlings for their blood, their scales, their bones. The old wizard looks down, sadness lining his face. After a while, the wizard takes a breath, gives you a nod. Let's keep going, he says, and leads the way further up the path. You trudge on upwards, a deep ravine to your left, a steep slope to your right. After another half hour of climbing, the wizard suddenly stops.
okay. Oh, that's cool.
There we go, this picture. Here we are, he announces, indicating a cave entrance that sits up the slope from the path. It's a bit of a climb. You look up and see that, more than that, it's nearly a vertical ascent. Broccolus chuckles to himself. Not to worry, young one. You don't really have to climb it. I just wanted to see your reaction.
Thank God. Okay.
He mutters a few words and produces a feather from the folds of his robes, touching himself and you with it. Suddenly you feel
Okay.
yourself lifting off the ground, rising up towards the lofty cave entrance. Broccolus sets you down just inside the entrance. Looking around, you see that you are standing in the mouth of a colossal cavern, big enough to accommodate the grand temple of Bane in Zental Keep twice over. This is the lair of my friend Xara. The comment makes you nervous. A dragon, you ask? Of course, a dragon. This lair, my friend, connects to your precious Zontarum tunnels. He points his finger at a small dark exit at the far end of the cave. That way, if you walk far enough, that is. How far, you ask? Oh, it's probably a day's walk, give or take.
Okay.
Follow that passage, and after about 2 miles and a bit of a drop, you'll come to a long abyss, a deep chasm that runs many hundreds of miles northwest, all the way to Vasa. It connects to the Underdark. So, Have your wits about you. You're likely to run across some foul beasts in her depths. Suddenly, Brockless seems to hear something and turns to look out the cave entrance. Ah, here she comes! You turn to follow his gaze and behold an incredible sight. A huge red dragon approaches, heavy wings beating the air and bearing up a massive body. Quickly you retreat to the back area of the cave to give the fearsome beast room to land. Brockless, on the other hand, goes and stands right in the entrance and starts waving to the dragon. I'll just be going then, you say, making your way towards the entrance. What? Ah, yes. You be on your way, young'un. Go well. You walk backwards toward the small aperture, and just as you are disappearing through it, you see the massive red dragon known as Sira gently landing just inside the cave entrance, and the wizard Broccolus Broadleaf reaching up to pet its enormous smoking snout.
Crazy.
And you get another point. Not wanting to linger in the dragon's lair, you make your way quickly inside the opening and start east down a tight passage, hearing the sound of the dragon in the cavern behind you as it tramps about.
Okay.
You push on, eager to put as much distance between it and you as possible. After about an hour, the passage ends, or rather, turns into a different direction, downwards. A massive sinkhole lies before you. Gazing into its depths, you see nothing but blackness, and you wonder how you might progress from this point. It occurs to you that you are very high up in a dragon's spines, and if this tunnel is to connect to the Zentirum tunnels that connect to the citadel of the Raven, then of course it must descend to a lower level. You just weren't expecting it to happen in such a rapid fashion. All right, so you have several choices. If you have a torch or a light source, you could drop it down the hole. If you have a rope, you can tie it and lower yourself down. If you have pythons and a hammer, you can use those to make your way down. Um, you can offer up a prayer to the gods and jump down the hole, or you can go back to the dragon's lair.
So I don't have a rope, I don't have pythons, and I don't have a torch. So my only two options really are pray and jump into the hole, or go
Um,
back to the dragon lair.
you would have a light source. Well, you have a candle. You have 10 candles, but those wouldn't
I have a
work in this
candle.
case. But you do have a
Yeah.
light source, so you would either have a, I'll let you choose. You can either have a lantern or torches, because you don't have dark vision and you have a tinderbox as
You
it
have
is,
to be
but
able to
you
see at
need some
night.
sort of light source. So you can either
Um,
have torches or a
yeah,
lantern, or you
let's
can
go
do
with
both if you
torches.
want.
I'll go with torches, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't need a full blown lantern, but torches will work for me.
come on. My fingers will cooperate. All right, and how many would you say you have?
Um, is a normal amount like 3 or 4?
Normal amount's 10,
Oh,
at level 1, and then you use them up. So anywhere
let's
between
say
5 and 10.
let's say 5.
Okay. All right, so you have 5 torches. So, all right, so you have a torch. You can drop it down. So is that what you want to do?
Yes.
You drop your light source down the immense hole, and it falls and falls, and finally illuminates for a few moments what looks like the surface of an underground body of water. Then all goes dark again as the light is presumably extinguished. So it would seem there's water down there, which would probably cushion your fall somewhat if you decided to jump. So again, um,
I can jump down the hole or I
let's
can
go back to
go
the
back.
Um, I would say you could try to climbing down as well uh, with an athletics check, but
I think the smart move here.
and you have a decent athletics, so you could try scaling the wall, just climbing down.
Yeah, let's try an athletics check. Let's try that. I have good athletics, so
All right, so we're gonna say it's the same as using pythons and a hammer. All right, so as you start working your way down, the rock crumbles away. It is too loose. You
oh, that
watch
sucks.
as the rock um, rips out of your hand and rips off and falls, and just faint splash echoes from the bottom of the yawning abyss. You'll need to find some other way down. So return to 309. All right, so yeah, it's making you either
Go back to the guy.
jump or go back to the dragon's lair.
I'm gonna go back to the dragon lair. I don't want to jump down there. I might break my legs.
It's water.
Yeah, maybe. It might be a foot of water.
It you add another progress point. It takes you a full hour to get back to the red dragon's lair. When you near it, you slow your progress and carefully listen for signs that the dragon might still be there. Fortunately, when you peek out through the entrance into the cavern, you find that the cavern's enormous tenant is absent for now. Breathing a sigh of relief, you make your way to the front of the cavern and start down the hillside. As quickly as you can, you jump from the entrance and slide down the scree of the mountainside, loose stone rolling and bearing your feet down the slope towards the path. It's actually quite easy going. Glancing up, you see the red dragon directly overhead and feel a strong downward gust as it beats its wings. It gives an ear splitting roar to announce its arrival in its own lair, which causes you to squint in pain, and then it disappears inside the entrance to the cavern. Thanking Bahamut that you escaped that in one piece, you quickly
Yeah.
make your way up the northern path towards the summit of Dragon Den Pass. One more point.
Yeah, Scrambled would have jumped down into that hole all day, but not Steel. Steel is a lot smarter, more calculated.
So you toil all the way to the top of the Dragon Den Pass and are rewarded with a view that is simply spectacular. Before you, the mountains descend gradually into foothills and then taper out into an immense plain. From the foot of the dragon spines, the vast plain known as the Ride stretches north to the horizon, interrupted only occasionally by rock formations and patches of forest. A few dark smudges you could see could be settlements, perhaps. To the northwest, resting at the base of the foothills, you glimpse for the first time the imposing black towers of the Citadel of the Raven. It's possibly the largest structure you have ever seen. A complex of towers connected by long curving walkways and encompassing a huge area the size of a city.
Mm.
In fact, you have heard that there is a civilian population within those walls, tradespeople, servants, artisans that serve the citadel and her complement of soldiers. Looking south, you see the dragon spine stretching back towards the moon sea, only part of which is now visible in the hazy distance. That region is just a memory now. The citadel, the ride beyond, are what awaits you to the north. The path before you descends steeply towards the foothills, By your reckoning, after finding somewhere to camp tonight, you have another day's travel to the citadel, which looks to be a good 20 miles away at least. Perhaps between here and there, you may find the entrance to the secret tunnels Juan Falconhand spoke of. Perhaps not. His words come back to you. If you cannot find the entrance to the tunnels, continue to the citadel. There is a small chance you can get in, over or under the walls, or concealed in a cart, perhaps. I don't know how, but you look like a cunning sort. Once you are inside, you must find a knight called Sir Stevil Skirnerd, a purple dragon knight. Let me drop this for you. You mull over those words as you begin your descent down the far side of Dragon Den Pass. The hour grows late, and you must find somewhere to camp soon and rest up for your third day within these mountains. The tree line is not too far below. Perhaps it's about an hour's walk. So you can try to find somewhere to camp where you are now on the bare mountainside, or you can continue down and find a camp within the forest.
Um, I'm gonna continue down and try to find a camp in the forest.
As you descend the steep mountainside towards the forest, a chill wind whips up, cutting you to the bone. The forest beckons with its thick ranks of sheltering trees. It takes you a couple of hours to reach the woods, and when you enter the green depths, the wind immediately drops, sheltering you from the cold. You soon
Hmm.
find a nice flat area under the boughs of a thick fir tree, and you set up camp, breaking out some rations for an evening meal. Darkness descends, and the wood goes all but silent. Only the sound of wind rushing through the canopy overhead disturbs the utter peace within the forest. You drift off to sleep, your slumbers filled with restless, haunting visions. A great army marching through this forest, an army of orcs and feral men, ogres and other creatures you cannot name, trudging, destroying the earth, their minds bent on destruction and murder. A fell general leads them, a man, a human, whose eyes are possessed, maddened. He has become something other. Not human, not even living. You sense they are bound south, their minds bent on pillaging, razing whatever civilization they find. Then your mind travels beyond the forest and into the ride beyond, that empty expanse. Except it's not empty. Roaming around this vast space, you find a village, emptied of its inhabitants and filled with an impenetrable gloom. You enter an old stone building, a tomb, and before you stands a figure in a robe, with its back to you. Cautiously you approach, and against all reason, reach a hand up to touch the figure's shoulder, and the figure begins to turn.
Creepy.
Panting heavily, you jolt awake, cold sweat coating your body. Morning light is just beginning to touch the sky. The dream still vivid in your mind, but you have no idea what it could mean, whether it was a mere fanciful vision or whether something placed this vision in your mind. Still haunted by the dream, you pack up camp and eat some rations. Slowly, you start to feel the dread of the dream lessen, and your mind turns to the journey ahead.
Okay.
All right, so we'll give you a long rest to make sure you get all your hit points and spell points and slots and all that stuff back.
Good.
All right. As dawn breaks, you resolve to cover the remaining 20 or so miles to the citadel as quickly as possible. You break camp and eat rations as you walk. By the time the sun touches the top of the dragon's spines, you estimate you must have covered at least 5 miles. And we add a progress point. An hour after dawn, you are forced to abandon the path as a large patrol, presumably from the citadel, makes its way east through the forest, 100 strong at least, you reckon, and fully armed for battle. Strange tidings indeed. Peering from deep in the undergrowth, you see a variety of insignia. The black hand of Bane is visible on some shields, but also the livery of Mole Master, Cormeal, Melvaunt, and many other cities that border the Moonsea. You know that the force inhabiting the citadel is made up of garrisons from many cities, and this gives you your first glimpse into the depths of its military diversity.
Oh, can I go into the city yet or no?
By mid-morn, you notice another path from the south join the main east path you are on. It makes its way down the mountainside from a steep saddle before joining your path. To survey, um, you survey it for a while before moving on again. You add another progress point.
Noise.
All right, so we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to put a little star here at 10. We'll put a asterisk every 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we have 9 more to go. The day wears on as you continue to make your way through the dense forest. Fortunately, the track is well maintained and wide, and you make good time. Since you have descended from the heights of the dragon spines, you also notice that the air has gotten a bit warmer, although not by much. The forest you are within borders the Ride, an arid plain with a desert-like climate. Still, within this small forest, there is rich earthy smell, and you see abundant wildlife. After an hour or so, you see something on the path ahead and stop in your tracks. It's a large dog, a mastiff, sitting in the middle of the road beside what looks like a dead body. You are downwind of the creature and so has not detected your presence just yet. It's impossible to tell whether this beast is hostile or not.
Okay.
All right, so um, you don't do any of those things. So
No, I'm
as
not
you
trained in
approach,
animal
the
handling or
dog
anything like
turns
that.
and regards you. It appears to be guarding the dead body. Make an animal handling check. DC 12.
Yeah. Hey,
Nice. You were successful.
Doug and I are best friends.
The mastiff tentatively wags its tail as you come near. You extend a hand, and a large canine gives it a sloppy lick.
Yuck.
Good dog, you say, feeding it a little morsel from your rations. It stands and wanders off a little way, allowing you to inspect the body. The body is that of a dead Zentilier soldier. You may take the soldier's livery if you wish. You know he has the garment that you put over your armor that indicates who you're with.
I'm a soldier. Yeah.
Basically, this in donning it as your own, this could prove valuable to gaining entry into the citadel. The soldier also carries a rapier and 43 silver pieces, and is clad in leather armor. When you are done, you can move the body off the path and into the woods so it's not discovered.
Heck yeah, I want to do that.
All right, so it's weird. It has the Mastiff, but it doesn't have your stuff. So let me go to your inventory. Come on. So
Jeez.
that's 58 total silver now.
Nice.
And um, Did you want to carry around a leather armor, or are you just going to leave it?
No, I'm just gonna leave the leather armor, but
All right, do you
does
want the
the
rapier?
armor is separate? No, I don't care about the rapier
All right,
either.
all right.
Is
So
that
yeah,
separate than his livery or whatever? His
yes, it's basically that
markings?
piece of cloth that you fit over your head like a sandwich board. That just
Mm.
has the
Yeah,
symbol.
yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yep, I want that for sure.
You are anxious to get going, and the day is wearing on. Around lunchtime, you come to a junction. The path east terminates and joins an even wider cobbled road running north and south.
Mhm.
Looking north, you see that the road winds through foothills, probably leading right to the gates of the citadel. You stand here for a while, considering your course of action. It seems you have not located the entrance to the Zentarium tunnels, and so you will have to try and enter the citadel through the front gate or by some other means. You despair of this, wondering how it will be possible. Your reverie is broken by the sound of tuneful whistling coming from the western path. An ox cart rounds the corner, driven by a portly farmer carting a large load of hay and vegetables. He sees you and fixes you with a searching gaze, but does not cease his whistling, at least not until he reaches the junction where you stand. Good day to see you, young'un. You look to be in a bit of a pickle. What ails the young friend? He speaks in a thick country accent. Um, Here, I'll go ahead and share this with you since there's some back and forth.
All right.
So, as
Ignore.
quickly you form a story in your head. Do you see that?
Yeah. I have something I need to do. Are these options
No,
or
we're going back and forth. Those weird rectangles should be
okay?
quotes. Should be
Cool.
quotes, but they're not.
All right. Well, I have something I need to deliver to someone in the Citadel.
Oh, yes. Go on.
It's for the knights there. It's important I get it to him without the wrong person noticing.
Oh, well, is that right, young'un? Well, it sounds very important. I suppose you'd better jump up here next to me then. He passed the seat next to him, and you take the opportunity, jumping up to join the old man. I can do with the company. My nephew was up here last week. He says there'll be a killer sheep up the road. Great huge thing attacked him, gored his oxen. He barely got away with his life. Not the first time that's happened either. This beast has been terrorizing the road for a month.
That sucks. Okay. A sheep? I ask frowning. Terrorizing the road? You struggle to keep a straight face, but the idea of a killer sheep is a bit hard to believe.
Aye, indeed. So I offer you a ride in exchange for your protection. How's that sound, young'un?
Mm, Let me go ahead. You tell the farmer it sounds like an excellent proposal. You're fairly confident the sheep won't be trouble or too much trouble, and soon the cart is rattling towards the small hills that stand down the north.
The old farmer, whose name is Bertius, or Bert for short, is an entertaining old fellow with a good sense of humor. Just the medicine you need after 3 days on the road. He shares his food and a large bottle of mead with you as you travel. You get one more point.
Nice.
You soon start winding your way through the low hills. I've got a cartload of vegetables for the citadel and hay for their horses, he says. They can't get enough of my veggies these days. I'm forever traveling from my farm to the Raven and back again. Seems like the population there has tripled of late. He chatters on, and you get a good feel for the goings on within the citadel. You wait for a pause in his narration to ask him whether he'd be willing to smuggle you in, but he doesn't stop long enough for you to get a word in edgewise. It's in the midst of one of his long monologues that you see it, bursting from the trees and charging towards the cart, a huge horned creature, the biggest sheep you have ever seen. But it's not like any ordinary sheep. Its eyes glow with a green, deathly pall. Look out, you say, drawing your weapon. Bert turns in time to see the creature bearing down on you both. Blimey! God save us! He turns and dives amongst the sacks on the bed of his cart. All right, so here's the map. Adding this to the combat tracker. Go ahead and give me initiative. Actually, let me go ahead and do this. Hold on. Initiative. Clear all initiatives. All right, now go ahead and give me initiative.
Nice.
All right, so it says it will first use its butt attack, after which it will then use its breath weapon on you. After this, it will trample, and then it will alternate between butt and trample. All right, so here, let me see if there's a. Let me throw him on the map. Oh, he's already on the map. Let me expose him. There he is. Put you on the map. See what kind of picture we're dealing with here. There it is. It's not really what I would call a sheep, but okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you get to go first. As you see this thing come bursting out of the trees to the east. Zoom in a little bit.
Um, I'm gonna now. How heavy is this tree line next to me, or are these little cloud things the borders of trees?
Yeah, you got the road and then pretty much grass until where it is, where the clouds are behind it, are the trees.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. Um, I'm going. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna do what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move forward. One, two. I'm gonna move forward to there, and I'm gonna acid breath it
Nice.
at the thing.
Okay. 10, 20, 30. Right. That is within range. So go ahead and let me there we go.
Where's my actions? There
There
it
you go. So
is.
he's targeted. So go ahead and click the save. See if it saves. Nice. It does not save. So go ahead and roll your
Awesome.
damage. Nice. So it's 10 points of damage.
Now, quick question. Does my acid breath stay in that grass line, or does it go away at the end of my 3 second turn?
It's 6 seconds, but it's pretty much gone.
Oh, okay. I was hoping it would kind of linger in the grass and he would have to charge through it to hit me, but no worries. So I use my acid breath, boom, clicked. And then I'm gonna move because I still have some movement left.
20 feet to be exact. Yes.
So I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20 and try to get him away from the cart. I
Okay, so
run over, spit acid
that's
at him.
actually only 15.
Oh, is it? I'll go
You
one
can
more
go
diagonally back if I can. Because I'm
Just go.
hoping he'll charge me and not the cart.
All right. So his speed is 40 feet, so that he is exactly 40 feet away. So let's see. 10, 15, 20, 10, 20, 35. Okay, yep. So he can just barely get to you, and he's trying to do his butt. Um, Go ahead and give me a religion check.
Okay. Um, where's that? Oh, it's under my skills. Duh. Religion. Boom. 13.
All right, so you notice this thing is undead.
Oh,
So if you were
awesome.
to smite it, it would be extra smitey. All right, so this
F.
thing is going to. It says it will first of all use its butt attack. All right, so it's going to do. Oh, next. There we go. Butt attack. All right, so a 21, and that is a hit. Why does it have advantage? Oh, all right, hold on. It dropped. Doesn't say which one it would. It did. It dropped to 4, and the second one is green, so it dropped. So the 4 was first, so it missed you. Let me turn off. I didn't realize you were still grappled and restrained. So it missed.
Yay.
All right, so if it hits you, it would have possibly pushed you back or knocked you down. Trample is. So it can't do that just yet. Can you? All right, so it can do a trample as well. So it's moving up into your square. Um, it's going 5 feet, so it'll end up here. Um, so you have a choice. Let's see if you hit if it hits first. Oh, wait a second. I rolled against you. I think a 15 would miss. Yes, 15 is a miss. All right, never mind. So if it does ever trample you, you can either attempt an attack of opportunity at a -4, or you can do a dex save for half damage if it ever tries to trample you successfully. All right, but it did not. So that is the end of the first round. Back to you.
I am going to. So my smite is when I hit on a melee attack, I can then smite it. Is that correct?
Yes, you can then enact your spell
Okay.
power,
I'm going to attempt
divine
to.
power from
And
Bahamut.
my other spells like heroism and stuff, that's a main attack thing. That's not like a bonus action. Is that right or no?
No, if you look at them,
I'm looking at heroism now, but it doesn't show me what type of action it is.
so heroism. So you have Bane, Cure Wounds, and Heroism. The other
Yes.
three all have BBB. So the other three are bonus actions. Hunter's Mark, Shield of Faith, Thunderous Smite. Those are all bonus actions. Heroism, Cure Wounds, and Bane are full attack, full actions.
Okay. So then I'm going to use Thunderous Smite. Is that the one that's a B?
Yes,
Yeah.
bonus action, the one that makes big, huge sound, does 2d6 extra damage,
Oh
and
wait,
pushes them back.
I think my Divine Smite is probably a bonus action also.
No, your
Divine.
divine smite is just you just do it.
Okay.
It's not an
So then,
action
yeah,
at all.
as a bonus action, I'm gonna use my Thunderous Smite
Because you can
or
do both.
tapped.
It just takes up 2 spell slots.
Yeah. So I'm going to Thunderous Smite it or attempt to success. So that means if it succeeded. I don't think anything happens on a. I've never used the spell before, so is there a way to see what it does if you succeed or fail or Thunderous Smite?
All right, so Thunder Smite lasts for, it's a bonus action and it lasts for up to a minute. And the first time you hit, it then does all that stuff. Um, so go ahead and click on the um, magnifying glass, click the effect, the top one. That says, not the top one, but the middle one that says Thunder Smite, 2d6 thunder.
Okay, Thunderous Smite effect. Okay, I'm clicking the effect button. Is that what you said?
Yes, the one that says
And
Thunder
then I'm
Smite.
dragging it. I'm
No, just
dragging it to the.
it says self, so just click it.
Oh, okay, I clicked it.
Yep, except you hit it twice. So
Oh,
get rid of
I
one.
tried to drag it,
There you go.
and that's why. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So now next time you hit, it'll automatically add it, and then
Okay.
when that happens, we then will do the save, and the other two, we'll
Okay.
see if it works.
So I'm going to attack with my great axe. Nice. Nat 20, and then I'm going to use my uh, divine strike because it is undead. So where's that?
All right. So
Divine
awesome. So
health,
yes, click on the
divine
Divine Smite
sense,
effect button.
divine smite.
So that uses up 2 of your
Effect.
spell slots.
Okay. Yep, because I've done divine
Yep. And then sit
roll
back
for
and
damage.
watch the insanity. Welcome to
so
being a
much,
paladin.
so much damage. So much damage.
All right, so we had 44 hit points. You had already done 10 to it, I think. So you exceeded it by 18 points as you
Nice.
cry out, in Bahamut's name, die! And this thing slams into it, and this huge crash of thunder appears. It goes flying back 10 feet as this radiant light just beams from your great axe as it flies back 10 feet, cracks down its skull, and the both horns go flying off to the side as its spine just cracks all the way down its back, and this thing is basically split in half as it lays on the floor on the ground, smoking tendrils, um, as the green ichor and stuff just fades away. The evil necromancy that had been keeping it alive fades out.
Awesome. That's an insane amount of damage. I
Yeah,
thought this was going to be a much harder fight than this, so that's why I did both of them. I was like, oh, I'll do the thunderclap. Then I crit it. I was like, well, since I crit it, I might as well use Divine Smite. Turns out, crap load of damage.
and with a crit, yeah,
Yeah,
it's just insane, and it's undead.
yeah,
So you have all these. Like I said, that's a
that's awesome.
paladins live for these moments of
Yeah,
critting against an undead. You
it's
can
this
smite
big
the
old
crap out of
scary
it.
giant dread ram thing that I just punked in front of this old man.
All right, so if you are victorious,
Yeah, overkill.
very nice. The gigantic zombie sheep lies dead at the base of the cart. You wipe the sweat from your brow. Apparently, Bert's tall tale had a grain of truth to it. Takes a while for you to convince Bert to come out of his hiding place beneath the sacks at the back of the cart, but eventually you do. Oh, gods be praised, young'un, he claims. That horrible thing has killed more travelers than the pox. Months it's been here. Bless you for ridding us of that curse. Now we can transport our goods to the citadel in peace.
Nice.
You are soon
This
back on the road and making good time.
this sounds like a good time to sneak in the hey, can you get me into the Citadel?
Yes. At a
Right about
progress
now.
point, you wind your way through the low hills that sit on the very northern reaches of the dragon spines. Oh, it's just around the corner, it is. Slowly the cart trundles around the last corner, and then, rearing up before you, is the colossal stone structure.
Okay. That looks confusing. Like navigate through.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Um, right click. Nope, that's not the right one. Down. Zoom to fit. There it is. Boom. Okay. Slowly. Okay. Looking up, you see that this is a keep primed for battle. Huge raven-shaped gargoyles loom out over the entrance, long oil stains dripping down the towers on which they stand. That's where they pour hot oil out, Bert informs you. Out the ravens' beaks. Killed many an orc that way, they have. Citadel the Raven consists of a huge network of towers connected by a network of walls. It's an imposing structure. Slowly, Bert's cart rattles up toward the gate. Zentilar man, Zentilar man the gates and battlements, but I've not looked your way yet. Are you going to attempt to hide among the sacks, or will you stay seated beside Bert?
I'm gonna stay seated beside Bert.
All right, you make your decision and then continue to the new section. Bert's cart rattles up the main gate of the citadel, which is manned by two burly sentries. Afternoon, Bert, one of them says. Just as usual, is it? Aye, just me usual veggies and a bit of hay for your horses. And who's this? He asks. This, my friend. I brought him with me for protection. Bloody killer sheep on the road, you know. Soldier pouts. Innerly you grimace. Not the best of stories, you think. But then Bert is just a simple farmer. You try the best you can to resemble Bert's description. Make a deception check DC 13.
Right, where are my skills? There they are. My deception's not terrible. I'll take it. Aha! One
Nice.
better.
The soldier nods. Right then, in you go. With a wave of the soldier's hand, the huge southern gates of the citadel compound swing smoothly open, controlled from the watchtowers above, and a wide yard is revealed beyond. Bert guides his oxen through the gates and into the middle of a bustling market, ringed with tents. Civilians and soldiers move here and there, inspecting the wares on display. Directly beyond the market, a hulking stone keep sits, the banners of all the Moonsea cities flying over her battlements. To your northwest, past the market, a temple is visible, and northeast is a long building which looks like it could be barracks. You thank Bert for the ride and bid him farewell. He has vegetables to sell. Your thoughts turn to the man that Juan Falconhand told you to locate on reaching the citadel. Once you're inside, you must find a knight called Sir Staval Skirend, a purple dragon knight, and tell him exactly what we have told you. Looking around, you look for the best place to find Sir Stevel. All right, and here is the map, and this is where we will go ahead and stop for the night. So what we can do is I have this saved. I'm not using this particular campaign for anything else right now.
Cool.
So um, we can do this pretty much. We can get together and talk about it. Maybe do it on a different day during the day or something. Um,
Sure.
or if this happens again to where it's not very often where 3 out of the 5 players can't play. But
Yeah.
um, let me go ahead and make a note. Uh, there's a lot of reading on my part. I didn't think it would be that much reading for me. Hopefully, you weren't too bored.
No, it doesn't bother me. I like the reading.
I hope you enjoyed it. Uh, here we go. All right, so we have right now you have 13 points out of 20.
Yeah, it means it's
Uh,
almost over.
hopefully, because if you get 20 points, you lose. So I'm going to throw in a map, put in the story entry. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. So, um, cool. Well, thank you, Mantha. Again, don't know if you're still lurking, but I appreciate you for the 9 months in a row. That's awesome. Appreciate the subscription. Any of you guys who have Amazon Prime, feel free to throw that free subscription you get every month my way. Either way, don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you enjoyed this, leave a comment below. Whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.
Have a good night, guys.